What makes a star truly unforgettable? Is it their talent, their beauty, or the way they carry themselves both on and off the screen? For Audrey Hepburn, it was all of these and more. She was a woman of contrast, an actress whose elegance seemed effortless, yet who worked tirelessly to perfect her craft. A global icon who shunned the spotlight to help those in need. A fashion muse whose style defined an era yet remained humble and grounded in her personal life. Audrey Hepburn wasn't born into fame. Her journey began in a world gripped by war, where survival was a daily battle. From these humble and challenging beginnings, she emerged as one of Hollywood's brightest stars. But Audrey's story didn't end at fame. In fact, her legacy grew even more powerful after she stepped away from the silver screen. While others sought the limelight, she found her calling in the dusty villages of Africa and Asia, advocating for children who had no voice. Her name is synonymous with timeless beauty, but her life's work was a testament to the power of compassion. How did a shy young girl from a war-torn Europe become the muse of Givenchy, the unforgettable Holly Golightly, and a global ambassador for children's rights? What made her legacy endure long after her final curtain call? This is the story of Audrey Hepburn, a Hollywood icon, a humanitarian hero, and a woman whose life continues to inspire. A story of resilience, grace, and a belief that true beauty lies in the kindness we give to others. Early life and influences. Audrey Hepburn was born on May 4, 1929, in Brussels, Belgium, into a world on the brink of upheaval. Her early life bore little resemblance to the glamorous image she would later project. The youngest of 3 children, Audrey was raised in a household that blended cultures and traditions. Her father, Joseph Victor Anthony Rustin, an English banker, and her mother, Ella van Heemstra, a Dutch baroness, came from vastly different worlds. But their union initially provided a privileged upbringing for young Audrey. However, this sense of stability was short-lived. When Audrey was just 6 years old, her father abruptly left the family, an event she later described as one of the most traumatic experiences of her life. This abandonment left an emotional scar that she carried throughout her life, yet it also instilled in her a deep sense of empathy and an enduring desire for connection. Audrey's mother, a strict and disciplined woman shaped by her aristocratic upbringing, took on the role of providing for the family. Determined to shield her children from the growing political instability in Europe, Ella moved the family to the Netherlands, believing the country's neutrality would keep them safe during World War II. However, the German invasion of the Netherlands in 1940 shattered that hope. Audrey was just 11 years old when the war reached her doorstep, and the years that followed were harrowing. Life under Nazi occupation was marked by deprivation, fear, and tragedy. Audrey witnessed atrocities firsthand, including the deportation of Jewish families and the execution of her uncle, who was part of the Dutch resistance. Food became increasingly scarce, especially during the infamous Hunger Winter of 1944-1945, when severe famine gripped the Netherlands. Malnutrition left Audrey weak and frail, but even in these dire circumstances, she found solace in dance. She trained in ballet at the Arnhem Conservatory and occasionally performed in secret recitals to raise money for the resistance. These black performances, as they were called, carried immense risk, but reflected the resilience and determination that would later define her. Her passion for ballet was more than a creative outlet. It was a source of discipline and hope in a world filled with chaos. Audrey dreamed of becoming a prima ballerina, and she pursued this ambition with unwavering determination, despite the challenges of her war-torn environment. However, the physical toll of malnutrition during the war years left her body too weakened to sustain the rigorous demands of professional ballet. This realization was a crushing blow, but her love for performance would not go to waste. These formative years profoundly shaped Audrey's character. The loss of her father instilled a vulnerability that she often masked with grace and poise, while the hardships of war gave her an unshakable understanding of suffering and resilience. Her experiences during the occupation, witnessing the horrors of war and the bravery of those who resisted, left her with a deep empathy for others and a sense of responsibility to help those in need. Even as a child, Audrey exuded a quiet charisma and elegance that set her apart. These qualities, combined with the discipline she honed through ballet, became the foundation of the grace and poise that would later captivate the world. Though she could not have known it at the time, the challenges and triumphs of her early life were laying the groundwork for a remarkable future, one in which she would touch the lives of millions. Audrey's childhood is a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and transform adversity into strength. From the shadows of war and loss emerged a woman whose grace and determination would not only redefine Hollywood, but also inspire generations around the globe. Breakthrough in Hollywood. Audrey Hepburn's journey to stardom began not on the silver screen, but in the wings of a theater and the pages of fashion magazines. After the war, she moved to London to study ballet, supporting herself by modeling and performing small roles in films. Her elegant demeanor and striking features caught the attention of casting directors, and soon she was landing minor parts in British movies. Her big break came not from a movie audition, but an unusual meeting. In 1951, while filming in Monte Carlo, Audrey was spotted by French novelist Colette, who was searching for the perfect actress to play the lead in the stage adaptation of her novel, Gigi. Captivated by Audrey's natural charm and elegance, Colette insisted she was the one, despite her lack of acting experience. Audrey's performance in the Broadway production of Gigi marked the first step in her rise to fame, showcasing her ability to command attention with grace and authenticity. However, it was her role in Roman Holiday 1953 that catapulted her to international stardom. Cast as Princess Anne, a royal who escapes her duties for a day of freedom in Rome, Audrey brought a unique blend of vulnerability and joy to the role. Her co-star, Gregory Peck, recognized her talent immediately. Though his name was initially intended to be the sole billing above the title, Peck famously insisted that Audrey's name appear alongside his, predicting she would win an Academy Award. His instincts were right. Audrey won the Oscar for Best Actress in her first major film role. Stories from the set of Roman Holiday reflect her unassuming nature and dedication. One memorable scene involved Audrey riding a Vespa through the streets of Rome, a sequence that became iconic. Despite her initial nerves, she handled the physical comedy with aplomb, endearing herself to audiences and critics alike. Following the success of Roman Holiday, offers poured in, and Audrey's career quickly soared. Directors and producers admired her professionalism and magnetic screen presence. She wasn't just beautiful, she was captivating, with an authenticity that made her characters relatable and unforgettable. Audrey's breakthrough wasn't just a milestone in her career, it was a turning point in Hollywood. She introduced a new kind of leading lady, one defined by charm, elegance, and a quiet strength. Her rise was proof that star power wasn't about fitting into a mold, but about creating one's own. Defining career moments. Audrey Hepburn's rise to fame after Roman Holiday paved the way for a career filled with iconic performances, each leaving an indelible mark on cinema. Her unique blend of charm, poise, and vulnerability set her apart from other stars of her time, creating a new archetype of femininity on screen. Sabrina, 1954. Audrey's collaboration with director Billy Wilder in Sabrina solidified her as a fashion icon and Hollywood star. Playing the titular role of a chauffeur's daughter who transforms into a sophisticated woman, Audrey's character enchanted both Humphrey Bogart and William Holden on screen, and audiences worldwide. The film also marked the beginning of her lifelong partnership with designer Hubert de Givenchy, who created Sabrina's elegant wardrobe. Audrey's style in the film set trends and forever linked her name with high fashion. Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961. If Roman Holiday introduced Audrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Tiffany's cemented her place in cultural history. As Holly Golightly, Audrey brought depth to a character who could have been dismissed as frivolous. Her performance revealed a fragility beneath Holly's sparkling exterior, making her both relatable and iconic. The opening scene, where Holly gazes wistfully into Tiffany's window while clutching a croissant, became one of the most enduring images in film history. This role also gave birth to her most famous look, the little black dress, oversized sunglasses, and pearls, a fashion moment that remains timeless. My Fair Lady, 1964. Audrey's portrayal of Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady showcased her range as an actress. Transitioning from a rough Cockney flower girl to a polished lady of society, Audrey's performance captured the heart of the story. Though controversy surrounded the dubbing of her singing voice, her performance was lauded for its emotional depth and transformation. The film remains the pinnacle of her career, celebrated for its grand production and her unforgettable presence. Wait Until Dark, 1967. In one of her most challenging roles, Audrey played a blind woman terrorized by criminals in Wait Until Dark. This thriller pushed her to explore darker, more intense emotions, earning her critical acclaim and another Academy Award nomination. It was a stark departure from her earlier roles, proving her versatility as an actress. Audrey's ability to embody characters with such authenticity stemmed from her own life experiences. Her natural elegance and empathy allowed her to connect with audiences, making her performances resonate on a deeply emotional level. Directors and co-stars often remarked on her professionalism, describing her as hardworking, kind, and deeply committed to her craft. These roles weren't just defining moments in her career, they were milestones in cinema itself. Audrey Hepburn didn't just play characters. She brought them to life in a way that made them unforgettable. With every film, she left an imprint not just on the industry, but on the hearts of those who watched her. Audrey Hepburn, a fashion icon. Audrey Hepburn's style was more than a reflection of her elegance. It was an integral part of her identity, embodying simplicity, refinement, and an enduring sense of grace. At a time when Hollywood glamour often leaned toward opulence and excess, Audrey redefined the rules with her minimalistic approach to fashion, setting trends that continue to inspire generations. Her collaboration with Hubert de Givenchy began in 1953 during the preparations for her role in Sabrina. Their meeting was almost serendipitous. When Audrey arrived at Givenchy's atelier, the designer famously mistook her for Katharine Hepburn, a more established star at the time. Despite the initial misunderstanding, the partnership that blossomed between them was transformative, not only for Audrey's career, but also for the world of fashion. Givenchy designed many of her most iconic looks, including the now legendary little black dress she wore in Breakfast at Tiffany's and the stunning couture wardrobe featured in Funny Face. Audrey spoke of Givenchy's designs with deep admiration, often crediting him with helping her feel truly herself, both on and off screen. In her films, Audrey's wardrobe became a vital extension of her characters, adding depth and sophistication to her performances. In Sabrina, her transformation from a naive girl to a worldly woman was mirrored in her wardrobe, which exuded Parisian elegance and sophistication. Breakfast at Tiffany's immortalized the little black dress, a garment that became synonymous with Audrey herself. Paired with pearls, oversized sunglasses, and a beehive hairstyle, the look turned her into a global fashion icon. In Funny Face, she balanced haute couture with casual charm, donning glamorous gowns alongside her signature black turtleneck and cigarette pants, showcasing her versatility and style. Off-screen, Audrey's personal style was equally iconic. She favored simplicity and practicality, often seen in tailored suits, ballet flats, and her beloved scarves. Her wardrobe reflected a preference for quality over quantity, embodying timelessness rather than chasing fleeting trends. Audrey's approach to fashion was rooted in authenticity. She chose clothing that complemented her personality and made her feel comfortable. Unlike many of her contemporaries, her choices weren't about excess or showmanship. They were about embodying confidence and quiet sophistication. Her influence on fashion is unparalleled, extending far beyond her lifetime. Designers from Givenchy to Ralph Lauren have cited her as a muse, and her iconic looks remain a touchstone for modern fashion. The little black dress, once a simple staple, was elevated to an essential wardrobe piece thanks to Audrey. Her use of accessories, from pearls to oversized sunglasses, has become an enduring symbol of effortless chic. For Audrey, fashion wasn't just about wearing clothes. It was about bringing them to life, imbuing each outfit with her unique sense of poise and individuality. Audrey's impact went beyond the aesthetics of clothing. She changed how women thought about elegance, proving that simplicity and authenticity could be as powerful as the most elaborate gowns. She embraced her natural features in petite frame, challenging conventional beauty standards and inspiring countless women to celebrate their own individuality. Her approach to fashion continues to resonate in today's world, where minimalism and sustainability are becoming increasingly valued. Audrey's wardrobe philosophy, choosing fewer, high-quality pieces that last, was decades ahead of its time. Her timeless looks are still celebrated on runways and red carpets, and her influence can be seen in everything from capsule wardrobes to contemporary takes on classic silhouettes. Audrey Hepburn's legacy as a fashion icon is enduring not only for her impeccable taste, but also for the way she embodied grace and authenticity in everything she wore. She transformed fashion into an art form, blending simplicity and sophistication to create a style that was uniquely hers. More than 6 decades after she first graced the silver screen, her influence remains as relevant as ever, a testament to the power of timeless elegance. Transition to humanitarian work. Audrey Hepburn's decision to step away from the spotlight in the late 1960s marked a profound shift in her life. At the height of her fame, she turned away from Hollywood's demands to focus on family and personal fulfillment. This choice, however, did not mean stepping into obscurity. Instead, Audrey embraced a new role, one that would define the latter part of her life and amplify her legacy, advocating for the world's most vulnerable children. Her humanitarian journey didn't begin with her appointment as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador in the 1980s. The seeds of her compassion were planted during her childhood, shaped by the harrowing experiences of World War II. Growing up in the Netherlands during the Nazi occupation, Audrey witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of hunger and fear. The scarcity of food and the constant threat of violence left a permanent mark on her, as did the memories of receiving life-saving aid from organizations like UNICEF. These early experiences instilled in her a profound gratitude and an unshakable resolve to help others in need. When she joined UNICEF, Audrey approached her role with the same commitment and discipline that had defined her acting career. She didn't see her involvement as a ceremonial position. Instead, she became a hands-on advocate for children in crisis. Over the years, she visited some of the most impoverished and war-torn regions in the world, including Ethiopia, Sudan, Bangladesh, and Somalia. In these places, she met face-to-face with families, listened to their stories, and offered comfort to children who had endured unimaginable suffering. Her presence wasn't just symbolic, it was transformative. For many, seeing Audrey Hepburn, a global icon, standing in solidarity with them brought hope and validation. Audrey's sincerity and credibility made her an unparalleled ambassador. Her quiet, yet urgent pleas for help resonated with audiences and governments alike. She didn't just speak in generalities, she shared the specific stories of children she had met, putting a human face on crises that might otherwise seem distant or abstract. In one of her most poignant reflections, she remarked, "I have seen famine and death. I was so devastated I cannot weep, but I always have the same answer. We must do something. We must understand the problems and demands of the third world." Her missions often involved grueling schedules, long journeys, and emotionally taxing encounters. Whether in a refugee camp in Sudan or a famine-stricken village in Ethiopia, Audrey poured her energy into raising awareness and rallying support. She spoke before the U.S. Congress, European parliaments, and countless global forums, using her platform to urge action and generosity. Her heartfelt appeals, delivered with grace and conviction, moved audiences to act. She was more than a celebrity advocating for a cause. She was a deeply compassionate individual, using her influence to change lives. The work took a toll on her, both physically and emotionally. Witnessing the suffering of children weighed heavily on Audrey, but it also fueled her determination. Even during her final mission to Somalia in 1992, as her health deteriorated, she remained resolute. She traveled to the country despite the ongoing civil war, drawing global attention to the dire conditions there. It was a testament to her unwavering belief that her fame was not for her own benefit, but a tool to amplify the voices of those who couldn't speak for themselves. Audrey's transition from Hollywood star to global humanitarian was a reflection of her true character. While the world celebrated her beauty and talent, she chose to channel those gifts toward a higher purpose. She left behind the glittering lights of Hollywood for the harsh realities of famine-stricken villages, proving that true elegance lies in empathy and action. Her work with UNICEF remains one of her most enduring legacies, a testament to her belief that the greatest gift is to give to others. Today, Audrey Hepburn is remembered not only for her iconic roles, but also for her tireless efforts to make the world a better place. Her humanitarian work continues to inspire, reminding us that even in the face of overwhelming suffering, one person's compassion can make an extraordinary difference. Audrey's philosophy and personal reflections. Audrey Hepburn's life was guided by a philosophy of kindness, humility, and purpose. Though celebrated as one of Hollywood's greatest icons, she never allowed her fame to overshadow the values she held dear. In interviews and personal conversations, she often reflected on the lessons she had learned from a life filled with both triumphs and challenges. One of her most enduring beliefs was the importance of helping others. She once said, "As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others." This sentiment was not just a soundbite. It was the foundation of her action, especially during her years as a UNICEF ambassador. Audrey believed that those who had been given much had a responsibility to give back, a principle she lived out with grace and sincerity. Her humility was another defining trait. Despite her fame, Audrey often downplayed her talent, attributing her success to luck and the support of others. She expressed surprise at her lasting popularity, saying, "I never thought I'd still be talked about all these years later." To her, the accolades and adoration were secondary to living a meaningful life. This perspective kept her grounded, even as the world celebrated her as a star and style icon. Audrey's reflections on beauty reveal her deeper understanding of what truly matters. She famously said, "The beauty of a real woman is not in a facial mold, but true beauty in a woman is reflected in her soul. It is the caring that she lovingly gives, the passion that she shows. This quote encapsulates her belief that inner qualities, kindness, empathy, and authenticity are far more valuable than outward appearances. Family was at the heart of Audrey's life philosophy. Her sons, Sean and Luca, were her greatest joy, and she often spoke about the fulfillment she found in motherhood. She once remarked, "I may not have made many films, but I've made many meals, and that's equally important." After leaving the limelight, she prioritized her role as a mother, finding happiness in the simplicity of family life. Audrey's personal reflections also touched on the idea of gratitude. Having experienced hardship during her childhood, she never took her success for granted. She viewed life as a gift and often encouraged others to find joy in small, everyday moments. For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness, she advised, words that have since become an enduring reminder of her wisdom. Through her words and actions, Audrey Hepburn demonstrated that true greatness lies not in what we achieve for ourselves, but in what we do for others. Her philosophy was simple, yet profound. Live with grace, give with an open heart, and find beauty in compassion. This perspective not only shaped her life, but continues to inspire those who look to her as a model of elegance, humility, and humanity. Lasting legacy. Audrey Hepburn's legacy is one of unparalleled grace, resilience, and humanity. Decades after her passing, she remains a timeless symbol of elegance and compassion, her influence resonating across film, fashion, and philanthropy. Few stars have managed to leave such an enduring impact, both in their art and in the way they lived their lives. As an actress, Audrey redefined what it meant to be a leading lady. Her performances in films like Breakfast at Tiffany's, Roman Holiday, and My Fair Lady showcased her versatility and authenticity. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Audrey brought a quiet strength to her roles, blending vulnerability with determination. She wasn't just playing characters, she was creating icons. Her work continues to inspire actors and filmmakers, with modern audiences discovering and embracing her timeless performances. In fashion, Audrey's influence is immeasurable. She transformed the industry's perception of beauty and style, proving that simplicity and sophistication could be more impactful than extravagance. From her collaboration with Givenchy to her personal wardrobe choices, Audrey's approach to fashion remains a benchmark for elegance. Her signature looks, like the little black dress from Breakfast at Tiffany's, have transcended trends to become permanent fixtures in the cultural zeitgeist. Even today, designers and stylists look to her as a muse, celebrating her ability to make every outfit uniquely hers. Beyond her contributions to film and